Okay, the article that I chose about giving voice to values was Benny and the Jets Energy Company. In this scenario, Benny was faced with finding some discrepancies in accounting entries and is trying to decide how to react to these discrepancies that he found, whether he should report them up the chain, how he should do it, or if he should just go along about his own job. The first question was, what's the process and how should Benny go about reporting the issue? And first and foremost, in this company shows many signs of a ethical collapse. You see pressure from upper management onto the lower level managers to perform at certain metrics. In this case, the power company, because it is regulated by the government, it can only report a certain amount of profit. And with these rebates that they were receiving, they were going over that percentage, but they were accounting for these rebates in a different manner and not counting them as income, so they could continue at that 12% profit rate. So the upper level management, whether it be the board of directors or other managers, were pushing the employees to keep that profit rate at 12% so they could continue to charge the customers their same rates. So that's just one of the biggest signs of an ethical collapse. And then obviously Benny has a fear of reprisals. He is lower in the company. He's probably made an investment in the company, trying to move up and make a career out of his current job. So what I think the best process would be is to report this issue up the proper chain. Don't jump over anybody and don't try to hide it. Go to his direct supervisor, who is Sarah Higgins, and tell her about the issue and express his concerns in a clear and concise manner, and just make sure that that gets reported up her chain of command as well. And if it doesn't, if she just says, no, this is how we account for things here and it's perfectly fine, he needs to inform the audit committee. And then if that doesn't work, he should definitely blow the whistle and just do it through an anonymous tip. And this isn't an issue that should be brushed under the rug or just think that it's okay, this is how it's always been done. It's actually a whistleblowing topic because it's contrary to public interest. The public is paying these rates that they really shouldn't have to be paying. Their rates should be much lower, and the information is non-public, so this is something that needs to be brought to the public's attention. So the ethical values that should be brought before Benny in helping him make a decision is integrity, honesty, and responsibility. Obviously, Benny is an honest person. There have been people before him that haven't brought up this issue, and he found it and he feels the desire to report it. So he already is an honest person, and just reminding him of that may help him take the proper steps in blowing the whistle. And then obviously responsibility. As an accountant, Benny has a responsibility to the public, not just his company. Rationalizations that he's gonna face are that it's always been done this way. We always do it like this and it's fine. We haven't gotten in trouble before and you're just overreacting. The rebates aren't actually income, rationalizing them as if they are other items and not actually, they shouldn't be counted against the company. Some of the ways that, even Benny could rationalize this by just saying, hey, this really isn't my job. I'm not a controller, I'm not an auditor. My job is to make these entries, and if they wanna dispute them or discover them, it's up to them. And then to overcome these, he needs to just begin by asking himself and others what's really the right decision. If we're overbilling people, that's obviously not an ethical decision to make. And then he needs to remind the company that fixing this issue internally and not in front of the public is going to be much easier than trying to fix this after the fact in front of the public. So some of the levers that are available to Benny is obviously just explaining that if this isn't handled properly internally, that he will blow the whistle and that things will go public. My final advice to Benny is to just ensure that corrective action is taken. He needs to, whether it be internally or externally, he needs to make sure and follow up that something takes place. And if it doesn't happen, he needs to be courageous enough to go out and make an anonymous tip. It's not always easy to do that because you're sacrificing the time you put into the company, your reputation, all these factors are on the line, but he really needs to just do what's right in this situation, and the whistle needs to be blown.